I'm Ted Keys in Pasadena, California. Welcome to my Tuesday conference call, a free high-powered meeting I hold live every Tuesday for top producing freight agents. Go to tedkeysonline.com for complete call information. Then join us weekly to see new, serious, struggling, and experienced sales professionals move more freight efficiently, effectively, effortlessly, and make more money financially. So watch my recorded call topic highlighted there on your screen right now. When you're finished, go to tedkeysonline.com and hear more podcasts. Read more blog posts, watch more videos, and while you're there, visit my Freight Sales Success Store for top-notch freight moving products to explode your business today. Enjoy watching and applying my Tuesday conference call.
Hello and welcome everybody again to my Tuesday conference call. It's a call, as you know, that I hold every Tuesday, 2 o'clock Pacific time, 5 o'clock Eastern time. It's a call where I teach every listener to move more freight, move it more effectively, productively, and efficiently. Today, my topic today is 9 phrases that successful freight sales agents won't say. Let me even say that again. 9 phrases successful freight sales agents don't say. Why do they not say this? Why do they not say these phrases? These are phrases that, for the most part, the rest of the world uses. Any average individual uses these. And if you're going to sound professional, if you're going to be professional, these are phrases that you must avoid. You must avoid. Now, if your goal is to sound like everybody else out there, if you want to sound like every other freight agent out there that comes in, does a little work, and then they quit or give up easily, then use these phrases. But if your goal is to last, and to last long, 5, 10, 15, 20 years in this profession, avoid and get rid of these phrases that I'm going to go over. Now, as you know, every call I send you a number of attachments, which I have today. Let's go ahead and look at those attachments down at the bottom of the email that I sent you. As usual, the first attachment that I send everybody is our Green Meadows Production Leaderboard. As I say every call, as a freight agent of Green Meadows Productions, make it your goal to get your name on this leaderboard. Not only get on this leaderboard, but to get on there and climb to the top of these 3 different segments that I have on there. Make it your goal. If you don't make it your goal, I'm telling you to make it your goal, because one of the best ways to find out whether you're doing this productively, successfully, is to see your name climb on this leaderboard here. Let's go ahead and X out of there and go ahead and open up that first attachment. The first attachment is labeled 9 phrases that successful freight sales agents won't say. Now, we've all said things that people interpreted much differently than we thought they would once we said the words. These comments lead to awful feelings sometimes that only come when you've planted your foot firmly in your mouth. And verbal slip-ups occur often because we say things without knowledge on the subtle implications that these phrases may carry. So understanding these implications requires awareness and the ability to pick up on the emotions and experiences of other people. Now, a data collection company called TalentSmart has tested the emotional equivalent of more than 1 million people and discovered that social awareness is a skill in which many of us are truly lacking. We lack this awareness because we're so focused on what we're going to say next and how what other people are saying affect us that we completely lose sight of those other people that we're talking to. Now, this is a challenge because we're all different. We're all created differently by our Creator. And you won't understand someone until you focus all your attention on his or her direction. The beauty of being aware that a few simple adjustments to what you say can vastly improve your relationships with other people, and especially the prospects and the customers that we talk to on a daily basis. So, to that end, there's 9 phrases that successful freight agents must be careful to avoid in casual conversations, and you should avoid them at all costs as well. The first phrase is, now this is if you're actually looking somebody in the face, that phrase is, you look tired. Let me say that again, you look tired. Now, here's an explanation. Tired people are incredibly unappealing. Let's face it. I mean, they got the baggy eyes, they got the wrinkles all over the place, incredibly unappealing. They have droopy eyes and messy hair, they have trouble concentrating, and they're typically grouchy or downcast. Telling someone they look tired, especially when they're not, implies all of the above and then some. So, phrase number 1, you look tired. Here's what you say instead, and that is everything okay? Or even say it more caringly, is everything okay? Most people ask if someone is tired because they're intending to be helpful. They want to know, and that's because they want to know if the other person is generally okay. Instead of assuming someone else's disposition, just ask. Just ask. Real easy. Is everything okay? Then they'll open up and share with you. More importantly, they'll see you as concerned instead of rude. So, you look tired. Switch that with, is everything okay? Number 2, wow. Here's your phrase to avoid. Wow, you've lost a ton of weight. Well, once again, a well-meaning compliment creates the impression that you're being critical. Telling someone that they've lost a lot of weight suggests that they used to look fat or unattractive. Wow, you've lost a ton of weight. Now, if somebody told me that, I would love it if somebody told me that. Wow, you've lost a ton of weight, Ted. Oh, wow, hey, thank you for that. But then again, I know where they're coming from. Here's what you say instead of that line. Wow, you look fantastic. One more time. Wow, you look fantastic. This one is an easy fix. Instead of comparing how they look now to how they used to look, just compliment them for looking great. It takes the past right out of the picture. Phrase number 3. Phrase number 3 to avoid, you're too good, or you were too good for them anyway. You were too good for them anyway. When someone severs ties with a relationship of any type, personal or professional, this comment implies that they had bad taste and made a poor choice in the first place. I mean, really, think about it. Think about if you've ever told that to somebody. You were too good for them anyway. Here's what you say instead. Their loss. You know, if you're severing ties, hey, their loss. This provides the same enthusiastic support and optimism without any implied criticism. So, you were too good for them anyway. Switch with their loss. Number 4, you always or you never. You always or you never. Well, no one always or never does anything. People don't see themselves as one-dimensional, so you shouldn't attempt to define them as being one-dimensional. These phrases make people defensive and closed off to your message, which is really a bad thing because you likely use these phrases when you have nothing important to discuss. So a lot of us folks that are married, we hear that a lot. We've said it a lot. You've always or you never. Here's what you say instead. It seems like you do this often, or you do this often enough for me to notice. Now, is this something you're going to say to a prospect or a customer? Well, it depends, because I have one customer. Oh, boy, this guy is gregarious. He's loud. Him and I get into it. I mean, this is somebody that we share our emotions with. But for the most part, no, you won't. But, you know, take it as a Take it however you want it. So simply point out what the other person did that's a problem for you. Stick to the facts and don't exaggerate. Because really, when you say you always or you never, that is like the worst exaggeration that anybody can say to you or that you can say to anybody else. Let's go to number 5. Number 5 is you look great for your age. Now, again, a lot of these are as if you're actually having a face-to-face conversation. But, hey, you can say this about a picture that you saw on LinkedIn or on Facebook or anything like that. So, number 5, you look good for your age. Well, using for your as a qualifier always comes across as condescending and rude. No one wants to be smart for an athlete or in good shape relative to other people who are also knocking on death's door. So people simply want to be smart or fit. Here's what you say instead. Instead of you look great for your age, say instead, you look great. You look great. This one is another easy fix. Genuine compliments don't need qualifiers. You don't have to qualify. Just tell someone, hey, you look great. You look whatever it is you want to say. So number 6, the 6th phrase that you're not going to say to folks anymore is, as I said before. As I said before, we all forget things from time to time. This phrase makes it sound as if you're insulted at having to repeat it yourself, which is hard on the recipient, someone who is genuinely interested in hearing your perspective. Again, as I said before, getting insulted over having to repeat yourself suggests that either you're insecure or you think you're better than everybody else, or even both. Few people who use this phrase actually feel this way. So what do you say instead of, as I said before? Here's what you say instead. Do you remember what I said earlier about that truck or about this issue? Do you remember what I said earlier about whatever it is you were talking about? When you say this, convey your message in a clear and more interesting manner. This way, you'll better remember what you said. Number 7, this is a pet peeve of mine. Believe me, if I say this to any of you, you better correct me on the spot, and that is good luck. Good luck. That is a phrase that I truly focus on in never, ever saying good luck. This is a subtle one. It certainly isn't the end of the world if you wish someone good luck, but you can do better because this phrase implies that they need luck to succeed in whatever it is they're doing. So what do you say instead of good luck? And let's face it, most of the world that we talk to says good luck. Here's what you say instead. I know you have what it takes. So instead of good luck, you say, I know you have what it takes. This is better than wishing them luck because suggesting that they have the skills required to succeed provides a huge boost of confidence. And who wouldn't want to hear that? Who wouldn't want to hear, hey, I know you've got what it takes? I say that to you folks every single week. I know you've all got what it takes. You'll stand out from everyone else who simply wishes them luck. Very important one for me. I know you all have what it takes to be a successful freight sales professional. Number 8, the phrase to get rid of is, it's up to you or whatever you want. It's up to you or whatever you want. While you may be indifferent to the question, your opinion is important to the person asking, or else he wouldn't have asked you the question in the first place, a question that you reply with, it's up to you or whatever you want. Here's what you say instead. What you say is, I don't have a strong opinion either way, but a couple of things to consider on your question are, let me repeat that again. I don't have a strong opinion either way on your question, but here's a couple of things to consider. When you offer an opinion, even without choosing a side, it shows that you care about the person that's asking. Last phrase to get rid of your vocabulary is, well, at least I've never blank. At least I've never done that, or at least I've never said that. This phrase is an aggressive way to shift attention away from your mistake by pointing out an old, likely irrelevant mistake the other person made and one you should have forgiven them long time ago or certainly by now. Here's what you say instead. I apologize for whatever it is you're apologizing for. I apologize for that. I apologize for saying that. I apologize for doing that. Owning up to your mistake is the best way to bring the discussion to a more rational, calm place so that you can work things out. Admitting guilt is an amazing way to prevent escalation. So, what's the conclusion of all these phrases that I just went over with you that all of you are going to get rid of from your vocabulary? The conclusion is, in everyday conversation, it's the little things that we say that make all the difference. So what do? Try these, not just try them, do these suggestions, and you'll be amazed at the positive responses you receive. Now, are you going to all say these tomorrow? Well, you may, but hey, say one. Go from 1 to 2, go from 2 to 3, go from 3 to 4. Just start somewhere. The more you start standing out and not sounding like every other freight agent out there, the more people will pay attention to you. Think about it. The more you start sounding different, or the more you sound different from every other freight agent out there and become the freight sales professional that you are, the better you'll be in the end, or certainly in the process. Okay, great. Let's X out of that attachment. And if you'll excuse me for a second here, folks, while I take a swig of water. A lot of information in that one there. Let's go to our third attachment. Third attachment is called Word Choice. Now, this is a document. It's in your freight sales guide. It is a document that goes hand in hand with the conversation that we just had, because it talks about words to avoid and words for success. Words to avoid and words for success. And just going down our line here of word choices gives you an indication, boy, I've been saying these words for so long. I wonder why I'm not getting the responses when I call my prospects. But you know what? I've been saying this word, and my prospects have been more lenient on me. They've been more patient with me. They've allowed me to ask them more questions. So I'll say it again. The more you use the words to avoid, you're going to sound like every other freight agent out there. The more you use words for success, the more your prospects and customers will take you seriously, because you're actually sounding like a freight sales professional that they desire to talk to. Let's talk about some of these. This first line here, words to avoid. I'm sorry. If you keep saying you're sorry for every little thing that you've done, i.e. stepped in front of somebody, then nobody is going to take you seriously. As I said in the last document, what do you use? I apologize for this, or for me, just stop apologizing. Stop apologizing unless you really have something that you're sorry for. But if you keep saying I'm sorry for every little thing that you do, very few people will take you seriously, especially your prospects and your customers. To tell you the truth, another phrase, get rid of it. What do you say instead? The truth is. Here's the truth. Not to tell you the truth, but the truth is, or don't even say it. Just say the truth. That's all you have to do. I might or I may do that. Switch that with I will do that. Maybe I'll do that. No, really, I'm doing that. Get rid of probably, switch it with definitely. Get rid of possibly, switch it with absolutely. How many times do I correct you folks when you say I'm trying? I'm trying. Hey, I don't want to hear that you're trying. What I want to hear is I'm doing. Yes, I'm doing it, Ted. Not I'm trying. Trying doesn't say anything. Doing, that's what I pay attention to. Okay, switch that with yes or absolutely. Hoping, I'm hoping to do that. No, don't be hoping. Do it. Stop hoping. start doing. Hopefully. How many times do you hear people say, hopefully I'll get it done? Well, actually, that's the word to switch it with. Actually, I'm getting it done. I need, switch with I, require, could be, should be, to will be, well. Well. How often do you hear me talk about umming, eyeing, and well? Switch that with yes and exactly, I think, with I know, I can't, with I can, I want, with I'll have, or I desire. I want to, I desire. You start switching your common words with words for success, people will take you seriously. If you keep sounding like everybody else that's out there in this profession, people will not take you seriously. It is that simple. Let's X out of there and open up our next document. That document goes hand in hand with what I just went over in the last several documents, and that is, don't just talk about it. Let me say that again. Don't just talk about it, be about it. When you stop talking about it and you actually see success, it's because you're being what you're saying you are. If you claim to be a freight sales professional, then be it. Stop talking about it, then be it. Be it with the words that you speak, because typically our actions follow words that we speak. Now, I'm at the point where I want my actions to speak louder than my words. In either event, as a beginner, don't just talk about it, be about it. That is a great place to start and to continue on. Hold it, folks. Let's X out of there. Open up our next attachment. Great attachment here today. Remember when you're calling your prospects and customers. Remember when you're calling your prospects and customers to end every call on a positive note, regardless of the outcome. Remember when you're calling your prospects and customers, end every call on a positive note, regardless of the outcome. Now, do you have control over that? Sometimes you don't, but do your best to end it on a positive note. Even if you get the guy to agree that you can call him next week and ask him if he's moving any more freight, that's a positive note. Here's what's going to happen. You feel good, they feel good, and you leave the door open for the future. So let me just repeat that one more time. Remember, again, when you're calling your prospects and customers, to end every call on a positive note, regardless of the outcome. Even if the call didn't end up with a positive outcome, you can go back into that call and dig out something positive and really focus on that. Even if it's not about that prospect, but something you can apply to the next call you're going to make. Here's what's going to happen. You're going to feel good. Your next prospect that you call is going to feel good, or the guy that you just spoke to or the gal that you just spoke to is going to feel good. And what's going to happen? You'll leave the door open in a positive way for the future. Let's X out of there. And today, open up that last attachment. Today's biblical message that I give to you is this, straight out of the Bible: godly freight agents expect God's abundance. Let me repeat that again. Godly freight agents expect God's abundance. Where do I get that from? Well, I base it on Bible verse from John 10:10, which states, I have come that they might have life and that they might have it more abundantly. What is this saying when they say they? Well, it means you. It means me. He came so that you may have life and that I have it more abundantly. So what does that mean exactly? Well, let me explain. The 10th chapter of John tells us that Christ came to earth so that our lives might be filled with abundance. But what exactly did Jesus mean when he promised life and more abundantly. Was it referring to material possessions or financial wealth? Hardly. Jesus offers a different kind of abundance, a spiritual richness that extends beyond the temporal boundaries of this world. Is material abundance part of God's plan for our lives? Well, yes, or perhaps. But in every circumstance of life, folks, during times of wealth or times of want, God will provide us what we need if and when we trust Him. And Matthew 6 tells us that. May we as believers claim the riches of God and Christ Jesus every day that we live, and may we share His blessings with all who cross our path, just as I do with my callers every single Tuesday. What's the application for this verse that I just went over? Well, here's the application, and that is that God desires to shower you, your family, and your associates with abundance. Your desire is to allow Him to. Stop listening to the lies that are going on in your head, telling you that you're not good enough. What are you doing? You can't do this. Believe me, God wants to shower you with abundance. Let Him. Do your best to not listen to the lies that are going on in your head. And I'm going to finish this with a great quote from Billy Graham. Billy Graham even said, God loves you and wants you to experience peace in life, abundant and eternal. Great way to end our call for today. But I will go back and say 9 phrases, get rid of them, switch them with every single one that I went over. Okay, thank you so much for joining me today. If you have any desire to hear a recording of this call tomorrow, go to tedkeysonline.com, click on the podcast recording, and you will hear it again to hear all the good stuff that I just went over today. You folks that are listening, you that have a desire to become a top-producing freight agent for this office, call me, Ted Keys, at 32. I take it back. Call me, Ted Keys, at 626-309-9141. For those of you that have any questions about the call that I went over today, call me at the same number, 626-309-9141. For those of you that are already top producing or beginner freight agents with our office, anything involving our top-of-the-line LDI freight system, call that same number, 626-309-9141, and you will call and ask to speak to Maria, and she will answer anything you have about our LDI freight system. Great topic today, guys. I wish all of you the best of blessings from God above. Take care, be safe, and we'll talk to you again next Tuesday. Bye-bye.
You've just taken a tremendous step forward by watching and applying my Tuesday conference call highlight. Do you desire to earn and learn with our top freight team and Christian-based office? Yes? We're searching for a self-starter who's serious, motivated, and ready to take action right now. Is that you? Go to tedkeysonline.com/contacts and enter your contact details. We provide top-notch freight agent sales training to you. Then you deliver those same skills with confidence to the freight industry marketplace. I'll talk to you soon.